Summer break for kids is awesome because you just get to do stuff. But for parents, it's stressful because you have to figure out what stuff they're going to do. And it's especially hard for parents who have children with ADHD. As we welcome clinical psychologist Dr. Sharon Saline to help us plan out our summer so it can be relaxing and fun for everyone. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Danny. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. This is an important topic. And I think even if your child doesn't have ADHD, it's still relevant.
Absolutely.
It's the same core principles at the same time.
Absolutely. This is the time of year. I know it's crazy. We just had snow. But we really, as parents, have to start thinking about the summer because it's around the corner. And actually, one of the things that I think parents forget about is that too much free time is not always a good thing.
Why not?
Well, particularly for kids with ADHD, it's hard for them to see a breadth of choices, and that can be hard for neurotypical kids as well. And so they sort of default to the easy thing, whether that's screen time or pestering a sibling or just shooting hoops over and over again. There's a higher risk for boredom and kind of a monotonous activity. And when there's downtime, too much downtime, everybody's stress level goes up because it's hot and they don't know what else to do. And so we want to create a summer that has balance, activities that appeal to kids, that build their strengths and interests with some downtime, because kids do need a break and to just chill out.
I think summer is important because a lot of times kids are in school, they're like, I don't want to do algebra when I grow up. I don't want to do biology when I grow up. But maybe they want to paint or they want to do robotics, and summer is their chance to go to camps or things that they're actually interested in. Exactly.
Now for some kids, particularly those with ADHD, it can be hard to identify what exactly they want to spend time on. They know what they don't want to spend time on. But it may be hard to sort of nurture a hobby or a talent, a hidden talent. And so summers are a great time to try different things. And many camps are structured for that. You do a week here, you do a week there, you take a week off in between. And so I encourage parents to sit down and think for themselves about what kinds of things that they notice their children like to do, and what kinds of activities they'd like their children to kind of develop. So if they like swimming, but maybe they could benefit from some swimming lessons. If they like being outside, maybe they could go to a day camp that's in nature. What would help them grow parts of themselves that they don't really get to sort of nurture during the school year?
Now, how can you have that sort of conversation with your child to brainstorm?
Well, I think it's a couple parts. So part one is you as a parent sit down with your co-parent, if you have one, or with yourself, and really consider, what is it that my child likes to do? What would I like to see my child kind of get better at, develop? Like, my child likes to play soccer, but really could use some skills. Or my child has an affinity for art and might really enjoy spending more time doing art. So you make a list of those things. Then you sit down with your child and say, hey, you know what, summer's coming up. Last summer we did X, Y, and Z. So you trigger their memory because they're not necessarily going to remember it. This summer, would you be interested in doing any of those? A. And B, what else might you be interested in? I don't know. What do you think? And then you can offer, well, I was thinking maybe of this or that. And then you have a brainstorm discussion. And you leave that brainstorm discussion with a list of maybe 5 options. Now, depending on the age of your child, if it's a child who's pretty much under the age of 13, you're in charge of pursuing those options, finding out the information, the dates, the cost, the logistics, the details of the program. For kids who are older than 13, they're perfectly capable and often really like to go online and do a little sleuthing. So I encourage you to give them 1 or 2 tasks to do. Then in a week, meet again. Because if you wait too long, out of sight, out of mind, you'll forget, they'll forget, it won't actually happen. And you come back together with the information that you found and they found, and you start to kind of hash out a bit of a plan. Usually for kids under the age of 17, parents still have to be involved in signing their kid up, in managing all the sort of carpooling logistics or travel logistics and the money piece. But you want to include your child so that your child is having a say, because when kids have buy-in, they do better. And for kids with ADHD who spend a lot of their days listening to what they should be doing differently, that buy-in makes a difference. The summer is a time for kids with ADHD to take a break often from school. School is usually the hardest area of functioning for these kids, so they want to have a chance to really spread their wings. Some kids with ADHD actually need some academic remediation during the summer, and that's fine, as long as it's deposited in between
the fun
stuff.
The fun
exactly.
Stuff. Sharon, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's not too late to get started, so I really encourage parents to do a little research now, because the tulips will be out very soon.
That's right. Spring's around the corner. It's a good thing, which means summer's on the way. We can plan for a good summer. We'll have these tips for you guys on our website on mymassappeal.com.